1, 2. I think it would be like really cool. I think it would be really cool if we acknowledge ourselves. How about that? Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. And with this game going on today, I was shocked to see who would show up. Because we know how important that is. So I figured either I was going to attract the real die-hard spiritual people today, or these people are going through a bunch of hell they want to get out of it right now. They're dead serious. They're ready to change. They're ready to have some happiness. Yeah, they're ready to change. You can escape you can escape you can escape from the world you see of fear. You can escape from the world of fear. From the world of fear. You can escape from the perception of fear. You can escape from the false perception of fear. You can escape from the false perception of fear. You can escape from the world you see. From the world you see. You can escape from the world of fear you see. You can escape from the world of fear you see by giving up attack thoughts. By giving up attack thoughts. By giving up attack thoughts, you can escape from the world of fear you see. By giving up thoughts of attack. By giving up thoughts of attack, you can escape from the world of fear you see by giving up. Giving up, giving up, giving up, giving up, giving up, giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I can escape the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. Now the next part to accepting that is remembering that you don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe that you can get out of your fear and upset by letting go of your attack thoughts. It's lesson 23 if you got the workbook. This is a very powerful lesson the Spirit told me to cover today, and hopefully the next one too. The Course in Miracles says stuff like only. It uses words like this is the only way. That used to bug the heck out of me when I would read, when it would say something like this is the only way. What about you? Yeah. Isn't there a part either rebelled as soon as something said this is the only way? Yeah. Actually, if it was, that would cut down on a lot of work. So I said that. So I thought about that. Maybe if there's a way to get out of fear, and the Course says the world is a false perception. So when it says I can escape from the world I see, the Course is saying I can escape from the false perception I see by giving up attack thoughts. He says this contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Wow. It says that's the only way that will ever succeed. Is I've got to stop giving up. I got to give up all my thoughts of being able to be hurt. So if it says this is the only way out of fear that will ever succeed, then what does that mean? Well, it means nothing else will work. If this is the only way that will ever succeed, everything else that you do besides giving up the idea that you can't be hurt won't work. And if I be honest with myself, that's a thought I've used least of all. What about you? I mean, think about it. The thought that we use least of all is the thought that nothing can hurt us. Yeah. I'm going like, did Jesus think I'm a superhero? What? I must be God, Superman. But I was Superman when I was a kid.
Still are.
Thank you. Still are. I used to walk around the neighborhood with a Superman suit under my clothes. When I was a little kid. Whenever the children in the neighborhood get in trouble, I would run behind the house and pull my clothes off and come back out as Superman. I think I wear this all the time. I have issues. My favorite talent was my X-ray vision. That was my favorite power. I still have X-ray vision. Now I'm just trying to learn how to see through what's not true. Right up. Now I'm trying to see through appearances instead of clothes. Okay, now. So I would run behind the house, get my Superman suit, come down the street, rescue the little kid, and there was one kid that was getting picked on by a bully. I ran down to save him, and the bully beat me up and choked me with my cane. It was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. Right in front of the whole neighborhood. Everybody was watching. It would change my life. Changed my life. My life changed. So I was humiliated. So I took my cape and I went on home. And then waited a week or so and came back as Zorro. Nobody know who I was with a mask on, Still didn't get the lesson, did I? No, just changed form, came back with the same. Don't we do that? Just do another form of the same thing we've been doing again and thinking we made a change. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So he says, this way cannot fail. What way cannot fail? Telling yourself that you're going to give up your attack thoughts. You're going to give up the idea that you are going to attack anyone, and you have to give up the idea of being attacked by someone. Now remember, you don't have to believe this, because if we think we have to believe it, it'll be hard for us to hear something new. So are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Just look at this as, okay, I'm gonna let this nutty black man tell me some things I might not have heard before. How about that? That's right. I'm your teacher for today. I'm Mr. Yummy. Not Mr. Yummy.
That's right.
I've never seen students say that with such sincerity and joy before. And I'm here today to teach you how to escape from everything that makes you want to kill people. And the first thing you have to do is let go of the idea that you can be hurt and let go of the idea that somebody's going to hurt you. You have to let go of the idea that somebody or something's going to hurt you. And also, you have to let go of the idea of hurting something or someone. He says that this is the way that cannot fail. And if I would be honest with myself, I'd have to admit I have not tried this. I have not consistently tried looking at things as if I'm not going to ever get angry, upset, or attack anything, and at the same time, I'm not looking for something to hurt or attack me. So, okay, I hear that. I hear it. Now, we just have to hear this. That's all. Okay. All right. No matter what resistance may come up, we're just being asked to listen, right? Then it says, every thought you have makes up some segment of the world. Every thought you have is making up some segment of the world you are looking at. So everything you see in the world, according to the course, everything we see in the world is just a thought that I'm having. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. Okay, so if it's your thoughts that is making up everything that you see, we're going to play with that for a minute. Let's pretend for a minute that everything we see in the newspaper, everything we see in our friends, our relatives, ourselves, everything we're looking at, let's just pretend for an hour that we're looking at our thoughts. Okay, he says, so if that's true, he says, then it's with your thoughts then that we must work. If it's my thoughts that's creating my financial situation, I need to work with my thoughts. If my thoughts that's creating my spiritual situation, I need to work with my thoughts. If my thoughts that create my situation with my family and relatives and everything that's going on every day, then it's my thoughts that's doing that we need to start with our thoughts. Okay. Then it says, if your perception of the world is going to be changed, we need to start with your thoughts. So if your way of seeing things are going to be changed, we need to start with you. If your way of seeing things is going to be changed, we need to start with you. So far, does this make that sound reasonable and logical?
Yeah.
We got to get rid of this because we can. we go out of our way to learn insane stuff. This is making sense. My head's shaking right now. Wait a minute. He's saying something that makes sense. When I look at you, I'm looking at my thoughts about you. That's what I'm looking at. When I look at all of you, I'm looking. And the only time I get jammed up is when I start thinking about y'all's thoughts about me. That's when I mess up. I'm not having a good time when I stand up here teaching until I start thinking about how y'all going to react to what I say. And that just kills the whole thing for me. And then when you're in the teacher game, everybody got an idea about how you're supposed to be. So it's like a cage if you don't watch it when you become a teacher or any kind of person like this. Because everybody projects their ideas about what you're supposed to be like according to what they learned. You know what I'm saying? So that's not y'all's fault. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Right.
That's what's so deep about it, because I could just go ahead and be my authentic self. So then it says, so do you want your perception of some areas of your life to be changed?
Yes.
Okay, then let's start with your thoughts. Okay, if the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, then the first thing you need to learn is that you don't want them. If it's just my jealousy thoughts that hurt me, then I don't want them. If it's just my thoughts of lack that keep me appearing to be broke, I don't want those thoughts. If I feel lonely and it's coming from my thoughts, he's saying the first thing you need to learn is you don't want it. If this person's making you miserable at your request, then you don't want them. I don't want something that would hurt me. And so now I'm learning nothing can. So if nothing can,
then it's okay for y'all to hang out with me. Because you can't hurt me. So I'm not afraid of you. And if you're afraid of love, you're going to be afraid of me. So I'm safe either way it goes. If you're afraid of people that are peaceful and kind and loving, and you run away from them, then that makes me safe.
Oh, I like that.
It's called sanity. we are actually going into we're going insanity. We're going insane. See the catch up, see the play on that? Yeah. Insanity. This is a class, insanity. This is insane what you're hearing. And people tell you, tell them this stuff, they say, man, you insane.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. I am insane because I believe what I'm seeing is coming from my thoughts, and I'm learning the thoughts that I don't want. And since it's coming from my thought, then I can just really have this thing change. Then it says, I love this, is going to really upset some of y'all, if you think you have to believe it. He says, there is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world.
Yeah. Love it.
There's no point in trying to change the world. But what about the polar ice caps? There is no point in trying to change the world. The world is incapable of change. I don't know about you, but as long as I've been here, I've been seeing the same thing going on. People living, people dying, some people happy, some people unhappy, being some sickness, being some attack, being some disease. Haven't that been what you've seen, broken into by periods where it's a Super Bowl or something? Right? Okay. The thing I love about the Course in Miracles is that if a person would be honest with themselves for 2 seconds, they realize everything it's saying is exactly what we're doing and experiencing. Like, the truth is, people have been trying to change the world since the beginning of the time, and the world hasn't changed. People still live, people still die, people are still happy, they're still unhappy, some are healthy, some are not, some they're attacked, some are unhealthy, some look they're not, some look like they're rich, and some just like they're not, some look like they're in charge, some look like they're the slaves. Can you share with me any time during your lifetime that you've seen anything any different than what I just described, broken into with what appears to be happiness that doesn't last all the time? Anybody else? Okay. Okay. So what it's saying is you're right. The world is incapable of change, but now it's going to tell you why. It says the world is incapable of change because the world is an effect. Yeah. By the time you experience something at the world level, you are experiencing it at the manifestation level, so you just experiencing the effect of something. By the time I'm unhappy, that's the effect of some cause. So by the time he's saying when you look at the Course is saying when you look at the world, the reason why you can't change it is because what you're looking at has already happened. Think about it. Wow. Everything you look at has already happened. You look at me right now because I've already happened. If it hadn't already happened, you wouldn't be looking at it. I've already happened. Okay. So he says, don't worry about that. So you can't change that. Then he goes on to say, but there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. You can't change the world, but you can change your thoughts about it. You can't change you, but you can change the thoughts about you. You can't change me, but you can change your thoughts about me. You can't change your financial situation, but you could change your perception of your financial situation. So the Course in Miracles is telling us that as soon as you change your mind about it, you change the cause of it. When you change your mind about it, then you've changed the cause of it. If I change my mind about my financial situation, it will change my financial situation. If I change my mind about loving you, then I will love you. You can only change whatever you're going through right now that's not giving you peace, The way you can change anything that's not giving you peace is to change your mind about it, instead of putting all your attention on changing it. Instead of trying to change my mama, I'm going to change my thoughts about my mama. Instead of going to work tomorrow and trying to change my boss, I'm going to go to work tomorrow and I'm going to have the goal of changing my mind about my boss. I haven't tried none of this. I haven't really, right? I haven't really tried not seeing myself as not being able to be hurt. I haven't really tried not trying to change the world. And I haven't really sincerely all the time worked on not trying to change everybody around me, but just changing my mind about everybody around me. So, but every time I've tried this, it's worked. Every time I've tried this, it's worked. Every time I've tried this sincerely, it's worked. Every single time. So, this is what's so cool about it. When you change your mind about it, then you change the cause of it, and then the result happens automatically. You can be automatically abundant. You can be automatically rich. You can be automatically loved. You could automatically have a wonderful relationship. You could automatically have whatever result you want, automatically. Automatic happiness. How would you like some automatic, and you know, that's happiness that you're not in charge of, so therefore it's probably going to happen.
Ooh.
I'll say that again.
Yeah.
Any happiness that we're not in charge of has a really good chance of actually happening. So let's go back. The cause of everything that you see that makes you afraid, that you have thoughts that you could be attacked or hurt, or you could lose, or you could attack somebody, somebody could hurt you, or you could hurt them. He said that makes us afraid. Then it goes on to tell us that stop trying to change people, stop trying to change the world, stop trying to change situations because it's not capable of change, because by the time you see it, it's already happened. So the way to change anything that you don't like in your life, or something you like to have happen, you look to see it happen, then you have to recognize that there's no point in trying to change the only way that you're going to change anything is to change your thoughts about it. The only way you can change anything is to change your thoughts about it. The only way to change anything is to change the way you think about it. The only way to change anything is to change the way you think about the world, how you think about your relatives, how you think about yourself. Then you are changing the cause, so the result will happen automatically because everything is happening because of the way I'm thinking about it. Everything that's happening in your life is happening because of the way you think about it. Your love life is happening the way you think about it. Your sex life is happening the way you think about it. Your relationship to the Creator is happening the way you think about it. Oh, just a minute. Just a minute. Give it to you. Give you a chance. The effect will change automatically. Yes. Darling?
Well, then I'm just wondering, how do I change my mind? How do I change these thoughts?
By saying, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. By reminding yourself of the fact that the way you change anything in your life is to change the way you think about it, and think about it another way, which is think about it with appreciation. Think about it with love. Think about it with innocence. Think about it with freedom. In other words, think about it without attacking it. Think about it without hating it. Think about it without judging it. Think about it differently. And if you would do that, the result will automatically happen. And so the question she asked is a very great question, because we don't realize we're on a path that's no longer about doing, it's a path that's about thinking. So everybody's wondering, well, what do I do? What do I do? What you do is what the exercise is going to tell us to do by the time we get to the end of it. It will tell us what to do. But what I find is very few people, including myself, actually use this. Actually do this. If they be honest with themselves. They don't go, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts today. Oh, I'm angry at somebody right now. I can escape from this by giving up my anger thoughts. Oh, I can escape from this by giving up my jealousy thoughts. And so we said, what do we do? And then the Course says, say this. Over and 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 over. Say this over and over and over and over and over. Say this over and over and over and over. Say what? Tell yourself the truth that you are seeing your own thoughts. That you can't change nobody else around you.
Right.
That the only thing that's creating what you are experiencing is the way you're thinking about it. Remind yourself of that and then tell yourself something different. But, just say it over and over and over and over and over. That's what you do. Don't make it complicated.
Yes.
Don't make it complicated. We are masters of complication and analyzation. That's our favorite thing to do. Let's figure this out. That's deep.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over. Yes.
So I'm a slow learner here. So then, if I'm not satisfied with my sex life, then I need to say I can escape the world I see by giving up thoughts about my sex life.
By giving up attack thoughts about my sex life, by giving up unsatisfying thoughts about my sex life, by giving up false beliefs about my sex life. Like an attack thought is a thought that somehow or another I'm being made to suffer by my sex life, which means that's the same as saying I'm a victim of my sex life. You know? And so he said, so what I want to do is change my mind about my sex life. I want to change my mind about my sex life. I want to tell myself something different. I can escape from the sex life I see by giving up attack thoughts.
So it seems like there's two steps. You recognize the thoughts you're carrying, and then you can replace them with something else.
Right, and that's what I'm going to get to in this. I'm glad that you're saying this. Yes.
So there's a trick that was early in the paragraph, and it said, you have to recognize the thought and say, I don't want this. And so my life can change automatically. I can be totally, absolutely pain-free as soon as I change my thoughts about the pain I carry in my body. So if I carry pain in my body, then therefore I look at that thought, that pain thought, and I have to know that if I still have pain, I want that thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I need to recognize by the time I experience the pain, I'm at the end of it.
Yeah, and so
Now that's deep.
I have to want.
Oh, that's great news.
You know what I'm saying? By the time you experience the pain, you're at the end of it.
Right.
Or the pain of anything.
Anything.
So my automatic healing, if it's not occurring, it's because I'm of a split mind.
Yeah.
I want my thought and I don't want my thought.
Yeah.
That's right. And so my opposition to the thought, my opposition thought to what I say I want neutralizes the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you can always tell how sincere you are about something you ask for by paying attention to how you feel asking for it. So if I ask for a relationship in fear, then really I don't want it. If I ask for money or abundance or God's guidance in fear, I really don't want it, because no one really wants what they are afraid of. Not really. They may say, well, I do want to. No, the truth is you don't really want what frightens you.
I may not want to be pain-free because it would give me no story to get love and sympathy from.
Oh, it's definitely a small price to pay for something that you think you're getting of greater worth. So your pain is a small price to pay for something else that you think is giving you, that means even more to you than the pain. That's right. All right. So I'm on the stay. Okay. So good. We're on to something. All right. Then it says, I like the part where it says, the effect will change automatically. The effect will change automatically. The effect will change. When I change my mind about having loving relationships, I'll have loving relationships. They'll just show up. I don't go hunting for nobody. No, with my choosing track record, I don't even know. No. I gave up choosing and letting my higher self choose for me.
Yeah.
And then the course told me what I should be looking for, and I didn't see it nowhere. So I knew not to go out with nobody until I saw it, and I knew I wouldn't see it until it was in me. So I went to work on me. Because it's my thought that's creating everything I see. So once I heard that, it was like, you mean it don't have nothing to do if I'm black? No. It doesn't have anything to do if I'm a man? No. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the external stuff that I've been judging whether I could get things by? No. I can think new thoughts, I can have new automatic results. How do I think new thoughts? Repeat the new ones. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over, especially in the situations that make you most upset. Because those are the situations you're most apt to resist doing it. But the truth is most useful in situations that are most upsetting. But that's when people tend to not use it the most. Because when people get angry or upset, the feeling of anger and upset automatically makes them feel justified.
Yeah.
Just because I'm angry, that's all I need to know, that I'm justified in feeling the way I feel, because I wouldn't be getting angry about nothing. You get to the point in your spiritual development that the fact that you are angry will always mean to you it's about nothing. See, now when I'm angry, I go, oh my God, I'm angry about nothing again. Because nobody's doing anything to me. And usually when I'm angry, it's because somebody hasn't acted out my script. It's usually two reasons why I'm mad at you. You're not acting the way I want you to act, or I'm trying to make you feel so guilty you do what I want you to do. Do y'all like Mr. Yummy?
I'm mad at you.
Well, you can escape me by giving up your
I don't want to.
That's called insanity.
That's right.
You have insanity. You want to be around me. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm completely sane. I'm saying I want to be.
Yeah.
And do you know, wanting to have or be something sincerely will give you the same results as being able to do it?
Wow.
Try it. You'll find that wanting to be a peaceful person and a loving person, well, you'll see the world treating you more peacefully and lovingly just because you want to be that way, even though you still have times that you're not. Your purpose will absolutely create your reality. So, he says, now this is good, Richard, this is fun. The world you see is a vengeful world. What does that mean? It means everything in the world you see is a symbol of vengeance. That doesn't sound very positive. That means each of your perceptions of external reality, is this external reality?
Yeah.
So each of our perceptions of external reality, he says, is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. So when you look at the television, you're looking at a pictorial representation of your own thoughts of attack, your own thoughts of fear that you don't know you have. So when you're looking at anything in the world, you're looking at a picture of your own attack thoughts. The hate in the world is a reflection of my hateful thoughts. All the beauty in the world is a reflection of my beautiful thoughts. All the kindness in the world is a reflection of my kind thoughts.
All of the craziness in the world is a reflection of my crazy thoughts. So now we understand. So he says, one could well ask if you can call this really seeing. You see, if all I'm seeing is my thoughts, then am I really seeing? That's just like saying, all I see is my hand. Well, then am I really seeing? You're like a person with your hands over your eyes, looking at the images you're making up in the dark, calling it your world. He says, isn't fantasy a better word for such a process? Isn't hallucination a more appropriate result? The Course of Miracles said, you all are having hallucinations. Every time you look at something that makes you afraid or you think it's going to hurt you, it has some hate or some anger or some lack, he says, you're having a fantasy. You're having a hallucination. Your relationship is a hallucination. That job you're going to do tomorrow is a hallucination. It's an image you're making up in your own mind. The job is neutral. Your job is neutral. But you have fantasies about it. And those fantasies are either I love my job or I don't. That's your fantasy about it. That's so deep. He says, you see the world you have made. You see the world you have made. You see the world you have made. But you don't see yourself as the image maker. Isn't that the truth? It's like he said, now you see the world, you see the life you've made, but you don't see yourself as the one who made it. You're having the life you're making, but you don't see yourself as the one who's making it. You're saying my past made it, my brother made it, my mama made it, my daddy made it, what happened in the 5th grade made it, what happened when I was a little kid made it. We're saying everything is making the life we're living but us. And he says, you see the world you made, but you don't see yourself as the image maker. You cannot be saved from the world. I can't save you from your spouse. I can't save you from your job. I can't save you from the world. Nobody can save you. He says, the truth is, but you can escape from what's causing your unhappiness. I can't save you from your unhappiness, but we can help each other escape from the cause of our unhappiness, the cause of our fear. Whew. I don't know about you, man, but there's some freaking answers. And it'll knock your butt out. You'll find when I'm saying something, this stuff, you be something down. You be wanting to go unconscious so bad. But you know the real reason why you'll tune out? It's because you're not ready to be happy yet. Because you haven't punished yourself enough yet because you're so bad. You're so bad. That you won't let yourself have a loving relationship and have your bills being paid easily through spirit in you and having a relationship that you feel adored in, you think you're so bad. You're not. You're not bad. You're not sinful. What you did on prom night's forgiven. Except for me.
No, you are too.
You're forgiven. You're innocent.
Well, let me be special. If I can be special by being the best one, I'll be special by being the baddest one. If I can't be special by being the most attractive one, I'll be special by being the quietest one. I want my specialness. All of us want to come up with the way that makes us special. Right? He says, that's what salvation means. Salvation means, you being saved means you're going to change your mind about everything in your life. And you're going to change your mind about everything about yourself. You're going to change your mind about it. That's called salvation. You're the salvation of the world because you're going to change your mind about it. You're not going to think like everybody else thinks about it. So you're the Savior because you're going to think differently from what you are seeing the other part of your mind is thinking. Because what you see is images you made. So when you look at the TV and everybody on it, then you're looking at another part of your own thinking. You're looking at another part of your own mind. You are a Broncos fan. You are sitting at home watching it on TV. You are the players on the field, and you are the cameramen, and you are the stadium. You are all of it. We are all that is. We are one. We are the mind. We are the infinite. It's all just one thing, us. So vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. What does that mean? That means loveliness can light your images. Loveliness can so transform your images that you will love the images that you're seeing, even though at first they were made out of hate. All of a sudden, all the stuff that you don't like is going to turn into something that you love. Wow. Yeah. I'll say it again. Everything is going to turn into something that you love.
Oh, right.
Everything is going to turn into something that you love. That's what's going to happen when you're willing to change your mind about yourself and change your mind about everything. Then he says there's a replacement for everything that you're looking at. And this replacement for the relationship that makes you feel sad, the replacement will be a relationship that you perceive as totally lovely. The lack that you see will be replaced with the abundance. The sense of aloneness that you see will be replaced with a sense of unity and oneness and love and joining. What will happen is you will love it even though in the beginning you hated it. And the reason why you're going to start loving things is because you're not going to be doing anything by yourself anymore without support. That's good news, class. I'd like to inform you that's good news. That's something to be happy about. Okay, all right. Just want to remind you, having total support and connection to everyone that loves you is a good thing to get excited about. Okay, all right, all right. But I didn't get turned on, Earl. Mr. Yummy. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, little Mr. No Yummy. Because freaking Earl, you still don't believe you deserve to be happy, yet you still think you need to suffer. You still think you're guilty about something. So you don't even get excited about the prospect of even having love and support. That's how little you think of yourself. You're your pathetic self-image. Your self-image is so pathetic, Earl, you can't even get excited about your own happiness. That's how pitiful you think you are. Thank you, Mr. Young. Okay. Remember the famous words of Broda. May the finger be with you. Okay. The finger of God. So I'm putting myself in the class with you. So that's what you just saw. Okay. The idea for today, what's the idea for today? I can escape from the world by giving up attack thoughts. Introduces, there's somebody I want you to meet. There's a thought I want you to meet. Come on. The thought I represent is, I'm the thought that you're not trapped.
Yeah.
I'm your you're not trapped thought. Look at me. I'm your you are not trapped in the world you see thought. Because the cause of the world you see can be changed. The cause of everything you're going through that makes you the least bit unhappy can be changed. What's causing your unhappiness in any way can be changed. What's causing your unhappiness in any way, your dissatisfaction in any way can be changed. But what does the change require first? It's about time we get down to the brass tacks. Okay, here we go. What's the first change that is required for you to have a healing in the area of your life you know you want the healing in right now? Here we go. You ready? I got your attention, don't I? Hey!
Yeah.
I got your attention? I still don't love myself enough to really listen to what you got to say yet, so I'm kind of zoning out, to be quite frankly. I'm wondering what the score is.
You're still innocent.
Knowing where the Broncos are in the championship is more important than all the happiness of my life.
Yes.
You just want to tell me how to never be hurt for the rest of my life. I'm not interested in that. I want to know what's happening at the game. We crazy as hell. There's a line in the Course of Miracles that says, do not underestimate the insanity of the world. It's crazier than you think.
It's just a reflection of my crazy thoughts.
Right. And if I recognize it's just a reflection of my crazy thoughts, then I would remember to first, the first change that needs to be made is the cause of what you're going through or what you're seeing needs to be identified. So it is my thoughts that I can be hurt, my thoughts of guilt, my thoughts of anger, my thoughts of separation, my thoughts of fear. He says, that's the cause of my pain or lack. And he says, that's the first thing. Then you let it go. Why? So that it can be replaced. If I want to put something in your hand and you got something already in it, you need to let it go so I can put the thing in your hand that I want to put in your hand right now. So as long as you keep all these old thoughts you learned from the world that you know don't work, you don't have an open hand. You have a hand that's closed to receive around the old thing. So that's what it says. So what's causing my problem? Some of the thoughts I'm having. Oh, that's what's causing them? Then I need to let them be replaced. But first I have to let these old thoughts about myself go. So I can't be thinking old thoughts about myself all day. I got to let go of those thoughts I've been thinking about myself. I can't be telling myself what's wrong in every kind of way and what needs to change in order for me to be happy all day. I'm going to be telling myself what needs to change and who needs to change for me to be happy all day. I got to tell myself who needs to change and what needs to change outside of myself for me to be happy all day. I'm always telling myself what people need to do and how things need to change for me to be happy all day. I'm thinking thoughts that don't make me happy all day. I'm thinking thoughts that don't make me happy all day. Now, if I really want to have those thoughts be replaced, first I have to say to myself, it's my thoughts that's keeping me unhappy all day, and I'm going to stop thinking these thoughts. I don't want them. The first two steps, what are the first two steps? Identifying the cause, and then what?
Let it go.
Letting it go. This requires your cooperation. You have to want to let it go. Then it says the last step doesn't require your cooperation. To have everything be replaced with the love and the happiness and the joy that you want does not require your cooperation. I'll give you what you really want without you even cooperating. Provided you first identify what's causing your unhappiness and you're willing to stop. And then I'll give you everything you've ever wanted in your heart. That's the promise. But that means I have to forgive. What does that mean? That means I have to stop blaming everybody else for what I think I'm going through right now. I got to stop holding other people responsible for my life right now. I got to let go of what I think somebody else has done to me. I have to be willing to give up my attack thoughts, my grievance thoughts, my unforgiving thoughts. So that everything I want can be given to me without my cooperation. Because when I received gifts on my birthday, you know what I'm saying? It's like they were given to me. That's why they were called gifts. They didn't go, you need to cut the grass and then we're going to give you a birthday gift. They gave it so you can receive gifts of God, gifts of love, gifts of abundance, gifts of loving relationship. But you have to first be willing to identify the cause of your unhappiness, your thinking, and then be willing to let go of that freaking thinking. To just be given what you want. That's why I listen to this. That's why I record this. Because it's so different from everything we tell ourselves and everything that we've been taught that we'll walk out this room and we'll forget everything I just said. Sometimes you even forget your cane. You don't even remember your cane. That's the Holy Spirit. So many people that come to my class over the years, there's thousands. That's the basis the same number of people that come every week. Well, the rest of them forgot they ever came. Don't you forget the chorus when you hear it?
Yeah.
Right. You hear me say this and you walk out and you have a hard time remembering, right?
Totally.
Don't you think you could do that to the whole class? Since the class is a course class? So you walk out and you basically forget you came. Till the next time you see me. So what else have you forgotten that's just as real and just as loving?
If you can forget this and it's real and loving, what else are you forgetting that's giving you nothing but love? What else are you forgetting just because it's giving you nothing but love? That's why you forget it. And them. I remember the people who made me mad quicker than I remember the people who made me feel good. I don't know about you. I remember a painful situation sometimes quicker than I remember something that made me feel really good. So we forget the cool, loving stuff and then fester on the stuff that upsets us and then wonder why we see more and more of it. So all we have to do is go, oh, I can escape from this by giving up my attack thoughts. Oh, this is coming from my own thoughts. Ugh, I don't want those thoughts. That's how we're being told.
So when you say that we can have this without our cooperation, the way I interpret that is that like there's areas in my life where like I'll get into so much pain that I sincerely, like literally, like I picture myself on my knees. I'm sincerely asking God. I ask for another way. I ask for something different, something new. Me doing this is not working. Let your will be done, and let me know that your will is my will in this. And I'm sincere. But then there'll be other times where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is good. And so the way that I'm seeing that is what you said without my cooperation is that like that sincerity that I prayed that God is answering that. Despite at times me going back and being like, oh yeah.
It's called love. Okay? That's why we don't know what it's talking about. Because it's talking about love.
Yeah.
It's like love is not earned. Love is not something you have to pay for. See, we think it's always something you got to do to get help. It's always some kind of way you got to change yourself to be for people to love you. Only the people who don't need a condition to love you. Only the people who don't love you are giving you 1,000 conditions to love you. Those are the ones who are revealing themselves as the ones who don't really love you, but you don't know that yet. The people that love you are not always asking you to be different for them to love you. Especially if the way you're being is okay with you. It's not like you saying, oh, I'm so screwed up, please change me. You were okay till you met them. And all of a sudden, you needed all this friggin' tweeting, but you didn't need it till you met them. Like if you just really screwed up, you just go to the mall and everybody in the mall go, you screwed up. Everybody would see if it was real. If it's real, everybody sees it. If it's real, everybody sees it. If it's real, it applies to everybody. If it's unreal, it applies to specific people. Woo! That's what this book teaches. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Why was I okay till I met you? Well, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with me is I'm not doing what you think I ought to do in order to make you happy. That's the only thing that's wrong with me. I'm not doing what you think I ought to do in order to make you happy. I'm not doing and acting the way you want me to fit your fantasy. But is that really a crime on my part? Does that make me the person that's selfish? Because I won't allow myself to be manipulated by your personal desires to have me serve you? That makes me selfish? Man, when you wake up and you see the game you've been running down on yourself, you forgive everybody because you saw you were the one that did it to you. And nobody else made me think that stupid way but me. I gotta go on. I gotta go on because we have about 5 more minutes. I want to get out of here. Which one thing I want to say. He said the first 2 steps in the process require your cooperation. The final one doesn't. Your images have already been replaced. And if you will identify what's the thoughts you have that are causing your unhappiness and then you're willing to let them go, you will see that all of your fears have already been replaced. So you use it throughout the day as the need arises. And you do it at least 5 practice periods of saying to yourself, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. As you look around you, repeat it slowly to yourself. I can escape this. I can escape what I'm seeing by giving up my thoughts of attack. I can escape the fear that I see, the separation that I see by giving up my thoughts of attack.
Then it says, then close your eyes and then search your mind for the many angry, upsetting thoughts that come to you. I know it might be hard to do, but he says every now and then during the day, just close your eyes and think about all the things that you used to upset you. Yes, he said, you know you worry about stuff and you're concerned about stuff and you think, he says, what I want you to do is, I want you to just close your eyes and think about it for a minute. I just want you to close your eyes and think about the stuff you're worried about. Then what I want you to do is each one of these thoughts come up, oh, I wonder how I'm going to pay my bills. I can escape from a world that I'm worried about paying my bills by giving up my lack thoughts. My attack thoughts about my bills. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts about paying my bills. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts about my relationship. So he says you already think about what you want all day long anyway. You already, all day long, you're thinking about one thing or another you wish were different, that you wish was healed. He says, okay, what I want you to do is every one of those thoughts come up, just say, I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thought about what I'm having about my mama right now. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts about my health right now. Use the thoughts you're already having all day anyway to free you. So now instead of trying to make sure you don't think negative thoughts all day, you use your so-called negative thoughts as charcoal for the fire. So all of a sudden it's like, rather than me trying all day not to think negative thoughts, I could just go, I can escape from this world I see by giving up this negative thought about having negative thoughts. Over and 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 over. You gonna do that little no yummy? I have to really want to love myself to do that. I'd have to really believe I'm tired of me going through a bunch of hell and suffering before I'd actually do something this simple. This is just too simple. I could do this today. I could actually do this today. If I really wanted to, I could do this today. And you see, I'm not excited. Have you noticed I'm not excited at all? I don't hit. You see me not jumping up and down and shouting with joy because you just told me how to get rid of everything that hurts me today? Do you see me jumping up and down? I still want to know what the score is. Notice, you notice in our response? Are y'all seeing how sober?
Yeah.
Check us out. Yeah. We're hard up, jumping up and down, kind of gang in joy right now about actually hearing how we could actually have the world and the life we want very simply. The mind is going, where can I find a hole in this? Where can I find a hole in this? Where can I find a flaw in your reasoning? As a matter of fact, when I ask a question, it's going to be because sometimes I'm just trying to find a flaw in that reasoning. Why it can't happen. I'm still using my mind to come up with something other than my mind and need to change. I'm still coming up in my mind with something beside my own mind that need to change. I'm still trying to come up with something outside of myself or something from the past and the future. I'm trying to analyze this. I'm trying to analyze this when all you told me to do was say, I'm worried about my bills right now. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts about my bills. I can escape from this by giving up my thoughts about it. I can escape from this by giving up my thoughts about it. I can escape from this by just giving up my thoughts about it. I can escape. And then the man goes, what next? I want to see you do that all day. Before you go to the what next. I want to challenge you to see if you would do that much. It's almost like we judge it before we ever do it. You know, like, okay, if I say that, then what's going to happen next? If I say that. If I say that. Not the same as I say that. It's if I say that. So that means I haven't even started yet, but I want the result before I even friggin' start. I want absolute assurance of what's going to happen before I even get it started. Why? Because I know I'm totally capable of doing it. I know that what you just asked me to do, I'm totally capable of doing. So now I have to get to that really big crossroads, which is what? I have to just tell the truth and say, I just don't want to do it. I have to just get real with myself. You know what? I'm just not willing to do the simple things that the truth and God and love asked me to do in order for me to have everything that I want, which means I want to be right more than I want to be happy. I want to believe it's the way I've made up my mind that it is. I'm not ready to be free yet. There's a part of me that still thinks I need to suffer. God, now I see where my suffering is coming from. Where? The part of me that thinks I need to suffer and doesn't want to do anything that I'm told that will get me out of the suffering. Oh, that's why I'm suffering. Now there's nobody to blame. Oh, forgiveness. Why? Because The firemen just arrived, the building's on fire, they ready to get you to come out, but you won't come out until they tell you how the fire got started. So you burn up alive. So why don't you let the fireman give you the answer to get out of the fire, and then once you're in the cool of the shade, we'll tell you that you left, the stove on.
Yeah.
But that's not us. You have to explain to me totally clearly, and I have to understand clearly how this is happening before I allow everything that makes me sad to be replaced with all the stuff I've ever wanted in my life. I'm just sorry, Earl. And then we call that our understanding it. As if our understanding is a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding is no contribution to the truth. Your understanding doesn't matter to the truth. It doesn't make the truth true because you can go, I understand that. It's like, well, you don't have to understand the law of aerodynamics to fly that plane to LA.
Yeah.
Just get on the freaking plane. That's what he's telling us. Just get on the freaking plane. Nah. If you don't know what my mama did, nothing.
Yeah.
That's what your mama did. What? She did nothing. What do you mean? Is your mama doing it now? No. Well, then she's not doing anything to you. If she ain't doing it now.
What if she is doing it now?
She's not doing it now, because you're in here right now. And your mama ain't nowhere to be seen. So in a way your mama doing it to you now. She's not here. I really got an excuse. My daddy dead. Now he's not really dead. And his body's gone. He's still alive. So is my mama, so is everybody else. They're just watching us, going, Lord have mercy. I'm so glad I'm out of there. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord, I died. I escaped from the insane asylum. I escaped from the insane asylum. I escaped from the insane asylum. I escaped the world where everybody thinks they're separate and in competition and attacking each other and afraid.
Yes.
So it says, hold each attack thought in mind as you say this, and then dismiss that thought by saying that, go on to the next. He says, be sure to include both your thoughts of attacking and your thoughts of being attacked. Include both your thoughts of attacking and your thoughts of being attacked, because their effects are exactly the same. Because the thoughts of attack and the thoughts of being attacked are exactly the same. That's why you look nice little Miss Sue down the street look like something always happening to her, because little Miss Sue believes that everything can hurt her. She believes that she can be attacked. And so when you believe you can be attacked, you're thinking an attack thought just as much as the person that wants to be the perpetrator. Y'all both believe in the power of attack. So the person that's walking around all day being afraid of getting attacked, even though they're so nice, they're just as much having attack thoughts as the person that wants to knock somebody out. That's deep. He says you don't recognize this yet. Right? You don't recognize this. You don't recognize that the thought of being attacked is just as much of an attack thought as the thought of attacking somebody. We don't realize that. We don't know that walking around all day, seeing yourself as a victim, as much creates and draws attack to you as if you were walking around all day wanting to attack everybody. So if you one of these people walking around, oh, woe is me. Nothing goes right for me. And nothing goes right for me. I just everybody have a relationship. I can't help it. Everybody else can have good. I don't have it. Everybody else can have a career that's fulfilling, but not me. So that's the person walking around all day saying, y'all guilty. Y'all making me miserable. Y'all making me unhappy. Everything that I'm going through is all of y'all's fault. That's all that person's saying all day long. It's your fault. It's your fault I don't have a relationship because none of y'all are any good. It's your fault I don't have prosperity and abundance because you don't want my service. I'm holding everybody responsible for my happiness but me. So I'm looking at it as if the world is attacking me, and then I'm shocked that I have drama and lack and challenges all the time. And I'm wondering where it's coming from, and it's coming from me.
Yeah.
So if a person want to know anything other than how they can change their mind, I don't believe they've heard anything I've said all day. If you ask any question other than, how can I change my mind quicker, faster, and better,
Yeah.
you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
If any of your answer has anything to do with what happened yesterday, what happened when you was a child, what might happen tomorrow, what somebody else has done, then you haven't heard anything that's been said today, which means you still want to suffer, and you still will suffer, but nobody's doing it to you. You are, because you could be changing your mind, but you're choosing to keep focusing on your past. Which means you still want to perpetuate the pain you're going through.
Which is your right.
Which is your right.
And you're innocent.
And you're innocent. And you call that leaving people alone. I'm leaving you alone. I'm here any way that I can be of aid to you, but I'm not going to take away your right to stay miserable as long as you like, because you still think you need to suffer in order to be okay one day. So you'll ignore every little simple truth you get to change your life and wonder about the Broncos game. So what should I do? He says, well, when you really wake up, what you're going to do is laugh. He said, when you really wake up, you're gonna see how stupid it is, how silly it is, how unnecessary it is, and you're going to be laughing at everything you see going on in the world, because you'll know that everybody's experiencing exactly what they're choosing to experience. And the help is always available to everybody to change their mind whenever they decide to ask. That's everybody you know, every relative, every child, every friend, anywhere in the world. I don't care if it's Africa, I don't care what's happening up to refugees, everybody. As soon as any and everybody gets ready to change their mind, they can have a different experience than their experience. Everybody can.
Yay. Awesome.
Nobody's here without help. But you got to ask. Not ask because you won't get the help unless you ask. You ask because that's your symbolic gesture to show you're finally willing to listen. The voice is always trying to, your inner voice is always trying to tell you everything that will make your life work. But when you get to the point you ask, that's when you're to the point that you're ready to finally receive the answer. That's how you know. If I ask you to give me a glass of water, I can't tell you I must want a glass of water. I don't want you bringing me water all the time whether I ask for it or not. So when you ask, that's how Spirit knows you're ready to receive. But the first step is admitting that it's your own thoughts that's creating your experience, and then want to let go of the thoughts that you don't want anymore,